Yo, Bracy Skills Clinics back with another video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. It's really early. It's like 6:30 in the morning right now as I'm recording this video. It probably won't be 6:30 when this video drops, but I'm about to get my day started really early. But let's get right into it, man. Let's get right into it. It's been a while since I've done a Spurs video. The Spurs have been struggling, to say the least. They've been struggling. We've lost, 10 out of our last 11 games or something like that. They've went from a 5-2 start on the year to now sitting at 6-12 after last night's loss to the Lakers. Tough California or West Coast road trip. But the question that I've been seeing on Spurs Twitter, especially with the recent struggles, is whether Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell are they fit for number one, being a number one and number two guy, or are they just good foundation players to be, the second or third option on a championship team, meaning that they're good, they're definitely a part of the rebuild, but they're not quite the guy or guys, right? And I'm going to be honest with you. I can see where people is coming from as far as, them not being sold on Keldon and Vassell being the number one and the number two option. I do see that. I do see where people are coming from on that. But I think really what it comes down to, like right now, if you look at these games during the Spurs struggles, Keldon is not shooting the ball as efficient as he was to start the year. I mean, he's kind of hit a little bit of a slump shooting-wise. And because Keldon doesn't have the best off-the-dribble pull-up mid-range game, it's been a little, you've seen his scoring numbers drop dramatically without the catch-and-shoot three. Some people think that he's tired or he's hurt, and that could be true. But really, I mean, he's just not making shots. The shots that he were making to start the year, they're just not falling, and you're seeing it dramatically affect his scoring total numbers. But Devin Vassell, if you look at Vassell during the struggles, because Vassell is a little bit better as far as creating his own shot off the dribble, he's still been able to find ways to score. He had 29 against the Kings. Last night against the Lakers, he had 17 where nobody really was scoring. I mean, everybody kind of struggled to shoot the ball, and Vassell was able to get, 17 on a real slow night. So you're seeing Vassell still stay consistent somewhat. And I think it's really just because he can create better off the dribble. He can create his own shot. He's not just a catch and shoot guy. More so as Keldon. I mean, Keldon drives to the basket really well, but the in-between game is what's going to continue to, that's what's going to keep your average up, is that in-between game. Because, anybody can catch and shoot the three. Well, not anybody, but you can catch and shoot the three at a decent level and drive to the basket at a decent level. But when teams are forcing you off the three-point line into the help, now, they're chasing you off the three-point line. Now you're going up against two, maybe even three people because you don't have that stop and pop mid-range game. It can become difficult to score. And I think Keldon is still in that position where he's not getting those celebrity superstar calls in the paints. He gets drilled. Keldon be getting drilled going to the basket. I think he should definitely shoot more free throws. He's just not getting those calls right now. I think one day he'll eventually work his way up into getting some of those benefit of the doubt calls, but he's just not getting those right now. So, he may go to the free throw line maybe 2 to 4 times a game or shoot 2 to 4 attempts a game. So it's tougher for Keldon. So to go back, to the original statement, I think if you don't think these guys are the number one and number two option, fine. But really what it comes down to is just you got one guy in Devin Vassell that creates off the dribble a little bit better, so he's able to still get his 19 to 20 points consistently. And then you got one guy who started off really hot because he was catching shooting it at such a high level. Now those shots are not falling in. The percentage has dropped a lot in the past, 10 games. And now you're seeing his numbers, his scoring numbers drop. Keldon's had back-to-back games. He had 11 against the Clippers, I believe, and 12 last night. So is that a cause for concern? for me, no. I just think they just have to keep developing as players. That's the next step for Keldon's game is a mid-range. I think once he develops that, I think he'll be able to put up more consistent numbers and you'll see him score on a much more consistent level. So, now will they get that opportunity as number one and two guys, or will we luckily get Victor Wembanyama and those guys naturally have to be the 2 and 3 guys on the roster? I don't know. I'm just telling y'all my basketball analyst mindset as a basketball trainer. That's what I see when I look at Vassell and Keldon. I think Vassell, by the end of the year, is probably going to be more consistent as far as not having too many games where he's well below his average. And I think Keldon is going to have those hot, cold moments where he get real hot and hit 7 or 8 threes in a game and go for 35. And he's going to have those games where he shoots 1 for 10, like last night from 3, and struggle to score 14, 15 points. I think we're going to see a lot of that from Keldon throughout the year because he just doesn't have that mid-range game. He doesn't have that Brandon Ingram stop on a dime mid-range pull-up or catching it mid-post, face-up, jab step. He just doesn't have that Carmelo, Brandon Ingram wingman mid-range game like most guys have that are good scorers. So, like I said, that's just the next step Keldon has to take in his game. He can still get it, but he's going to have to really, really dial that in the offseason. I don't think he's going to dramatically improve that during the season. I think in the offseason, that's something that, he's really going to have to focus on. He's improved his outside shot so much. He's dropped weight. He's done everything that he's needed to do to develop as a player. I just think now the next step for Keldon as far as if he wants to be a top-tier level player is getting that mid-range game. And that's just what we're seeing. They're running him off the three-point line. They know who he is now. They know he's second in the NBA or was second in the NBA to Stephen Curry in three-pointers made. So, scouting reports get around, and they're forcing him off the three-point line, and they're bringing aggressive help because they know he attacks the baskets pretty well, and they're just walling up on him. They're not going for block shots. They're just walling up on him, and that's what you see with Keldon. So he's just going to have to continue to get better in the offseason and get that mid-range game. That's the next step for Keldon. Devin, man, Devin is solid, man. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if you're going to put 1 second, 1 third. I don't know how it is, but I just know Devin knows how to create his own shot, man. He's going to score at a consistent level. I don't care if he's number 1, number 2, number 3. Devin can create his own shot, man. He's like a mixture of Allen Houston and Latrell Sprewell. That's what I see with Devin Vassell. Like the 99 Allen Houston and Latrell Sprewell, he's a blender of those guys. Like Devin he's really good, bro. Like he's really, really good. I mean, even in these losses, the struggles the Spurs have had, if you just look at how good Devin has been, like I was at the Sacramento Kings game in person when Davion Mitchell, who's a ball-hawking defender, he's probably low-key the best on-ball defender in the NBA. To me, Davion Mitchell is really slept on as an on-ball defender. Like he should probably be a first-team All-NBA defensive player. Like he's really good, and I've seen him just hound Devin Vassell from half court. As soon as Devin Vassell brought the ball up, and Devin Vassell was still able to comfortably get to his spot, rise up, shoot, and score. Like just tough shots. So I'm really sold on both. I'm still high on Keldon, don't get me wrong, but I just look at Vassell as the guy where right now, if the game is on the line, I'm probably giving the ball to Devin Vassell because I feel like he creates his own shot much better. But anyways, that's enough for that. I'm going to get my morning started, starting to get a little bit brighter outside. But, man, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. We out.